say, kids, what time is it?
Honor of introducing the John Flynn film Rolling Thunder from 1977 for its Cannes debut. And it's come a long time to do this, and I'm very, very excited.
And is it about time it got a showing?
It's about time. I've been pushing it for a long. I've been pushing the respect for this movie for a long time, and I feel we finally did.
Got it.
Hey everybody, Keith here from GeekTime TV. Another update on Quentin Tarantino's 10th and final feature film. This article was it's hot off the press here on Deadline.com from I'm going to butcher this. Sorry, Baz Bamigboye? Maybe? We'll just say Baz. We'll go with Baz. Before we get into this, I just want to thank everyone for your recent subscriptions. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit that subscription button. If so inclined, let's get into this now. So we learned a short time ago that Quentin Tarantino's next film was tentatively called The Movie Critic. It's going to go into production later this year. And it was surmised that it was about a film critic from the 1970s named Pauline Kael. Well, we've found out a little bit more. So this conversation between Baz and Quentin Tarantino took place at the Cannes Film Festival, which just wrapped. And let's see what's going on here. So, exclusive Quentin Tarantino, sitting in the shade on the Carlton Hotel Terrace, revealed to this column that his new film will indeed be about a movie critic from the 1970s, but he stressed that it won't be about the New Yorker's Pauline Kael. Instead, it will be based on a man who wrote for a porno magazine. That sounds more like Quentin Tarantino. Tarantino was speaking to this columnist ahead of announcing a special screening in Director's Fortnight this afternoon of John Flynn's 1977 movie Rolling Thunder, starring William Devane. Today's event is billed as a rendezvous with Quentin Tarantino. And there's a little video here you can check out on Deadline Hollywood's Twitter account if you have the Twitter. The filmmaker dedicates an entire chapter to Flynn's revenge thriller in his book Stimulus Speculation. As it happens, his new film, The Movie Critic, which goes into pre-production next month, is also set in the same year that Rolling Thunder was released. The Movie Critic takes place in California in 1977 and is based on a guy who really lived but was never really famous, and he used to write movie reviews for a porno rag, says Tarantino. One of Tarantino's jobs when he was a teen was loading porn magazines into a vending machine and emptying quarters out of the cash dispenser. All of the other stuff was too skanky to read, but there was this one porno rag that had a really interesting movie page, the director says. The filmmaker did not want to reveal the name of the magazine, but for The Movie Critic, it will be called The Popstar Pages. Baz asked the critic if the critic in question was quote-unquote known, and Tarantino threw his head back and said, well, he was known if you read the Popstar Pages. He explained he wrote about mainstream movies and was the second-string critic. I think he was a very good critic. He was cynical as hell. His reviews were a cross between early Howard Stern, and what Travis Bickle, Robert De Niro's character in Taxi Driver, and if you haven't seen Taxi Driver, shame on you, might be if he were a film critic. Sipping his juice, he added, think about Travis's diary entries. This sounds fun. This is going to be a great movie. I can already tell. Tarantino continued, but the porno rag critic was very, very funny. He was very rude, you know. He cursed. He used racial slurs. Uh-oh! SpaghettiOs! But his shit was really funny. He was rude as hell. Tarantino did not research into the reviewer's life. He wrote like he was 55, but he was in his early to mid-30s. I'm sorry, Tarantino did research into the reviewer's life. He wrote like he was 55. He was only in his early to mid-30s. He died in his late 30s. It wasn't clear for a while, but now that I've done more research, I think it was a complication due to alcoholism. No one has yet been cast. He acknowledged that there aren't any actors in his repertory company in that age range. Leo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, he conceded, are too old for the part. But Leo's girlfriend's not. See if he made it about Pauline Kael. Anyway, going back to this. Tarantino says, I haven't decided yet, but it's going to be somebody in the 35-year-old ballpark. It'll be definitely a new leading man for me. I pushed him on who it could be, but he refused to tell. I do have an idea of somebody I can imagine doing it really well, but he's unsure whether or not to give it to that person. After Cannes, he'll return to his wife and 2 children in Tel Aviv. Then later this month, he'll relocate to Los Angeles for pre-production. And then I want to start seeing who else is out there, he says. Baz asks if he can't find his leading man in the U.S., would he look elsewhere like the U.K.? No, he said emphatically. The truth of the matter is, yes, obviously a Brit could pull it off, but I don't want to cast a Brit. And then it goes on to discuss, things like casting an American as James Bond and why that doesn't happen. And it goes on and on. And you're welcome to read his history of some of his films at the Cannes Film Festival. But that's basically what we know now about the Movie Critic and where it's going to go. I wonder who he's going to choose. I mean, my first thought was somebody like Chris Pine, but Chris Pine, he's got to be in his late 30s, right? He could probably do it. But I'm not sure if he's got the chops to be like that kind of mean-spirited, down and dirty, alcoholic kind of character. We'll see. We'll see what Quentin comes up with. He's always good about pulling a rabbit out of his hat, like what he did with John Travolta 3 decades ago. So we'll keep an eye on this for you. I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I'm really sad that this will be his last film, so I'm going to keep an ever watchful eye on any news surrounding this as it unfolds. So that's it for me. Please leave a comment below if so inclined. Hit that like button if you so choose to do. And again, if you haven't, please subscribe. You have a great day. See you on the next vid. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up below. Also, please subscribe to GeekTime TV. It really helps us grow the channel. And make sure you hit that bell icon in order to receive notifications every time we drop new content here. You can also check us out on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at GeekTimeNet. Thanks again for watching. We will see you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?